Argentine beef has traveled over 10,000 kilometers to China. Why is it so much cheaper than Chinese beef? The answer is actually very simple, that is, the cost of sea transportation is much cheaper than land transportation. So cheap that you can't even imagine. It is really because sea transportation is cheap that the ocean has become a battleground for major powers in the world. Whoever controls the ocean controls the world. To understand the advantages of sea transportation, we can compare it with ocean transportation, road transportation, and railway transportation together, and we will understand everything. The biggest cost of road transportation is facility cost, which is road and bridge fees. As long as it accounts for more than 30% of the total cost, roads do not fall from the sky. Building roads requires investment, using roads requires depreciation, and maintaining roads also requires investment. These are all real money. If road and bridge tolls are not collected, who will come up with the money? If it is railway transportation, the cost of facilities will only be higher, accounting for at least 50% of the total cost. Depreciation and repair of locomotives, maintenance and upkeep of railways. This all requires a lot of money. But for sea transportation, the facility cost is almost zero. Because ocean channels are purely natural and do not require construction or maintenance. The only thing that needs to be invested is port construction. But the maintenance cost of this is astonishingly low. With a huge transportation volume, it can be basically ignored. The second largest cost of road transportation is labor wages, which account for about 30%. Sometimes even higher than the cost of facilities. The labor cost of railway transportation is much lower. After all, a railway driver can transport tens of thousands of tons of goods by car, while transporting 30 tons by car is already quite large. But compared to ocean transportation, the labor costs of railways and highways are still sky high. A 4,000-ton ocean-going cargo ship only requires a dozen sailors to make one trip abroad, but for the same cargo to be transported by railway, at least 50 trains are needed. Each train requires at least one driver and 2 safety officers. This amounts to over 200 manual labor, which is more than 10 times that of sea freight. If it were to be transported by road, it would be even worse. Even with a 20-ton truck, transporting 400,000 tons would require 200,000 vehicles, and 2 drivers would work in shifts, requiring 400,000 people, which is 200 times more than railways. It's 2,000 times more than sea freight. Shipping also has an advantage that cannot be compared to highways or railways. That is, sea freight can connect various continents. Coffee beans from Africa are shipped to Europe, small commodities from China are shipped to the United States, and fruits from South America are shipped to China. These can only rely on sea transportation. After comparing so much, everyone should have a thorough understanding of the advantages of sea freight. Taking Argentine beef as an example, based on detailed calculations. Argentine beef drifted across the sea to China, with a transportation cost of only 1 yuan per kilogram. That is to say, if the cost of beef locally in Argentina is 10 yuan. After being shipped to China, it sells for 12 yuan. It's still very cost-effective. This cost is absolutely incomparable to domestically produced beef in China. The benefits of maritime trade are so great that human society naturally attaches increasing importance to it. If you have goods that need to be imported from China or exported to China and require sea freight, you can log into our sea freight website, www.vansea.com, to inquire about ocean freight rates. Contact us.